the phrase, my other half, my better half. It's another thing I wanted to talk about. I'm on it today. I'm on the, I guess, the relationship kick and these phrases, titles, all that. So, here's the confusion I have about this one, I guess. Now, to say my other half, my better half, is saying that you're two half people or fractions of a person. That other person completes that other part of the puzzle or other part of the math, the equation, the fraction. But shouldn't a couple be, the word couple is two wholes. So why would you be a half? You're two whole people. Like, you don't get a cufflink and a half. You don't get an earring and a half. You get two earrings, a couple of earrings. So that was another thing I wanted to think. You should be a complete person by the time you decide you want to invest in someone, much less build with them. Because it needs two people or however many people, and they need to be complete people in order for whatever you guys are building, for their foundation to be strong enough. Otherwise, there's a crack in your foundation, just like the little pie in the fraction. There's cracks all in it. Whether you go half, you go thirds, a 16th, an 18th, there's cracks in that. So nobody builds a solid foundation builds anything that's going to stand on a cracked foundation. So, people are always saying, oh, take me as I am, but you're not a complete person. Like, half the people that are in relationships now, they're really in them to, say they have someone, to say they have a union with someone, or because they're lonely. And that's probably one of the worst things you could do to yourself, because that leaves you susceptible to all kinds of victimization, and to be targeted by all kinds of individuals, because people smell that on you. They sense that. They sense that someone that doesn't know how to be alone, can't handle being alone, can't stand their own energy and thoughts, or, everybody's so caught up on dying alone. I'm like, well, you kind of do. Nobody's going to sit there, oh, I'll die with you. Nobody's going to jump in that grave with you. So, either way, we come in the world alone, we die alone. Even twins got to come out one at a time, So, and even twins come out as two whole people, unless they're Siamese, and that's a different story. But besides that, why even invest in a relationship if you haven't first invested in yourself to make yourself a complete person? Don't you want to be the best possible version of yourself you can be before you happen upon someone else or someone happens upon you? Those are my questions in regards to that, and maybe you say you do go into a relationship as a whole person, and you go into a relationship with a half a person. That's not a whole relationship. So that person still has work to do on themselves. You're dealing, you basically having to raise somebody from whatever fraction of them that is available to you, and up. So why wouldn't you want to work on yourself? But a lot of people, they just jump from one relationship to the next, and they leave little fractions of themselves with everybody they encounter, instead of going in and filling that cup back up, so they can stay hydrated basically through the whole relationship. They have this, and keep the endurance and those electrolytes that were used up during that previous relationship that hurt them so bad, and that, and then they bring that absence of what is left with that other person to the next person, and they reap the consequences, and that is a sad thing, because imagine how many relationships could have worked out if it were two whole people instead of, one and a third, or 1 2/3. You need two complete people, period. You need to know that, hey, I was at my best in this, and it still didn't work out. That's how you know it's not supposed to work out, and that's how you avoid going around in circles, saying, oh, I could have done better, I should have did this, should have did that. No, you were a complete person then. That's who you were then, and maybe you're a full person leaving, and you end up being a different person, better person, by continuing to work on yourself and see, hey, maybe this is a match. At least there won't be so much pain behind it, and you'll move differently instead of going through these toxic, these vicious cycles, very toxic cycles, and you're basically destroying someone emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically, spiritually. And that's a big spiritual warfare we have in the world today. Is people can't seem to want to get by themselves. I know times are hard, on a financial tip, but would it really hurt so bad to not jump into a relationship? Like, honestly, I'm up there in age. I'm not old, but I'm old enough. I'm in my first real relationship. Yes, I have a son, but I do not count that dude as a relationship. And I was never in a rush to be in a relationship. My whole thing is I always wanted to get by myself so I can work on my childhood wounds. And, I definitely require more time alone than I do in, around people. People don't help me recharge. I recharge me. I go and fill, I go and charge the batteries. I go and fill my own cups, and that's just it. That's what it is for me. And I feel like, if more people were able to do that, and they were able to just fill their own cup and charge themselves up and build themselves back up, they wouldn't be running around with half a cup full or a third of a cup full trying to, claim they love someone. Like, man, you don't even love yourself enough to get by yourself and heal so that you can be, if you run into your soulmate, you won't screw them up and run them off. That's like, you got to love yourself enough that you could be by yourself. Because usually people who can't be by themselves and they have to be around people, have to have noise and stuff going on, don't want to hear their own thoughts, they don't really love themselves like they, even if they say they do. Is like, to love yourself is to be able to get by yourself and be like, hey, give yourself that talk, like, this is what's wrong with you, this is why this didn't work, and you fucked up, right? You get in the mirror and you have that conversation. You fucked up, right? You fucked up here, point out all your flaws, bare your soul to yourself, and then go work on it. And say, how I'm going to work on it, because healing starts from within, no matter what's going on. That's financial and any other aspect you could possibly imagine. It starts from within. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Again, drink plenty of water, eat plenty of dark greens, educate yourself and learn something new, exercise, and most importantly, mind your own business.